Hey, thanks for checking out the Mystery Ham channel. Today I am covering the Quansheng UV-K5 with the 8 in the parentheses. I think some people are calling it the UV-K6. I got this on Amazon a couple of weeks ago, and as soon as I got it, I immediately flashed the EG Zoomer firmware because I knew I wanted the spectrum scope, because I thought that was the whole selling point of getting this radio. For months, I was following people on Twitter and checking out videos on YouTube and saying how cool it is because you can hack it. And I was thinking, well, I don't know, how cool can it be? But then I kept thinking about that spectrum scope and how cool that might be to be able to find signals that are popping up and sometimes hard to track down sections like the airband. And so yeah, and when I loaded the software onto this, it was actually cooler than I expected, and the radio was actually cooler than I expected. I'm not going to cover everything about this radio, and especially the different firmware versions, because there's a lot, and like I'm not a firmware expert at all. I just know what I like, and I'm just going to share that with you. So when I first flashed the firmware onto this, I thought it was, I thought I screwed it up. I thought I made a huge mistake. I tried to revert back to the original and it didn't quite work. So I was like, okay, but I just found out you just got to read and watch some YouTube videos on how to work the menu, or how the actual keypad goes into how to navigate through the firmware. But when you turn the radio on, you are in a kind of like the basic state. You got your VFO there. I have it at dual channel right now, and I went ahead and programmed in all my repeaters and things like that. But to get to the spectrum scope, which I was so happy about, is you press the the F and then the 5, and then you have this little spectrum scope. See if I can get it focused a little better. And so now there's I'll link to a guy's video who explains this a lot in more depth, because I want to just talk about other things about this radio. But the one thing that was really cool that I wasn't expecting was this little line here that's above. You can see the noise floor there. This little line, you can raise that up and down as your squelch. And then once you see a station break the squelch, the little arrow will go right to that station. So it'll just find that station. So it's almost like a scan feature. And you can change the spread of what you're monitoring. So for instance, if I go to the air bands, I can cover just about half the whole entire air band and monitor that, set my squelch, and then once I hear a station pop in, I can, once it selects that station to start listening, I can just quickly press the push the talk button, and it will lock into that station and pull you to this screen. And once you're at this screen, you still have the ability to adjust the squelch with the these two buttons here. So that is really cool. I love the fact that you can use that feature. Let me see if I can get out of this. Hit the exit. Okay, so I have this on 10 meters. Oh, and I have it on the spectrum scope. And you don't hear anything because the squelch is up. And it seems like something's trying to break the squelch. And I was hoping that maybe a 10-meter station might poke through, but if it is, I'm not hearing much. But let's switch over to the, let me see if I can find one manually, and then we'll try to see if we can hear anything over on the CB bands. Let's see. Let's go. So I'm going to hit 5. Let's go CB bands first. Hit 5, and that brings your VFO up, or your how you can type in your frequency. And I want 27. Let's go to 27 and hit that to enter. And I hear a CB'er. You can see he's poking through right there. And my squelch is too high, so I need to lower that a little bit. Oh, I'm in upper sideband. Let me switch to AM. So since I'm able to monitor a large section of Okay, got a little risky on the CB channel there, but I want to hit the exit channel, and that's what you expect on the CB, right? So let's go back over to 10 meter, and let's see if I can find a 10 meter station. Make sure we are on upper sideband. So let me pause it here and see if we can pull in a 10 meter station.
Whiskey 3, Tango, Whiskey Bravo, 5-5, Kilo 1241.
Yeah, we got a Parks on the air. I'll pull them up, see if I can see them on the internet.
So Papa Alpha, we'll take you for another one, 76.
3680, oh, that's...
Kilo Delta 8. Kilo Delta 8, Victor Kilo Papa, 5-5, into Kilo 1241. Yourself?
All right, Kilo 1241. I just put it up here on my screen. That is St. Vrain State Park in Colorado, and I'm in North Carolina, so 10 meters from Colorado is readable.
There was a mobile station. Go now. Got a Kilo Alpha 3 India. Station 20, first response, Cobbler's Way.
So here's some emergency response.
Station 20, first response, 41 Cobbler's Way. Breathing problems. Station 20, first response, 41 Cobbler's Way. The crossing, breathing problems. Cross Streets, Old Miller's Lane, Fire Meds, 1441.
So I have, not only do I have local, I have it on scan right now, so if a station pops up, I'll turn up the volume. But right now I have it on scan, and one thing I really like about this is you can have two different scan lists. That's good, because sometimes I don't want to be bothered with the local emergency, I just want to scan the repeaters, which that's really helpful. I don't have that set up right now, but I do have local EMS, all my local 2 meter, 70 centimeter repeaters, and I also have GMRS and MERS stations in here. And also we have a local 6 meter repeater and a local 1.25 repeater. I have that in here. Seems like a local business. A lot of local businesses here use FRS radios. Okay, so here's the other thing I really like about this radio. I'm still scanning, so we might get interrupted by some sort of transmission. But it charges and can be powered off USB-C, and the USB cable goes right into the body. And the reason I think that's kind of neat is that, let's say your battery goes bad, like you didn't bother buying a second battery, and but you still want to power the radio. But check it out. No battery. You just plug it in, and that baby's working. Not too shabby. Okay, so let's just poke around here and let's just get some power levels on some of these different bands. Now, by no means am I saying you should use this outside of the ham bands, and I'm not transmitting through an antenna. I'm just doing a power test into a dummy load. But it's good to know if a true peanut butter hits the fan situation. It's good to know that if it can transmit and how much power you could get if you were to. Now, I do know there's other videos describing the spurious emissions, which is a thing, and that's why this radio is intended for 2 meter and 440. But let's do a little test on the 2 meter band. We'll hit that. And the power, see if I get that in focus, 5.4 watts on 2 meter. Not bad. I think it's advertised as a 5 watt. I'm getting 5.4. And let me go to, let's find I should have pulled up the 440 calling frequency. Let's see. Let me do that real fast. And we'll go 446 000. And we'll push the talk. And I'm getting 4.04 watts on 440. And then let me go back to my memory and let's see, GMRS. Let's go down to, I think what not a Rubicon says is the new GMRS calling frequency. Let's see if I can get that in focus a little bit and hit the power. And hit the power, I got 4.3 on GMRS. And to round it up, let's go with the, I guess the MERS frequencies. Let's see, MERS, get back to VFO. Sorry I'm not getting this in the frame. It's hard to juggle. I'm a rookie. Let's see, 151 820. That's channel 1 in the MERS world. Hit that. And it shows 5.9 watts, which is kind of a surprise. Pretty interesting. So like 5.5 watts on a MERS channel, and that can't be good on your radio, especially if it's a dirty signal. Like I said, I'm going through a dummy load. So what was the other one I was going to check? Oh yeah, the 1.25. Let me go back to my, shine that screen towards you a little bit better. Go back to my memory channels and let's see if I can find, there's a local repeater that is 1.25, and if I can find it here. Okay, here we go. This is, I'm so far, even if I had an antenna, I couldn't hit this repeater. But, so I'm at 224.240. And I'm going to hit the power button, and I know there's going to be a low one, so let's see. So you're getting like a 0.03 watts, so not much. Let's try another one. I have another repeater programmed in. Yeah, so it does transmit, but very, very little. But that's really surprising that you got so much power out of GMRS and on the MERS channels. That's kind of impressive. But I've never, made any contact with anybody because you're not supposed to with this. So, but it's just good to know in case SHTF, and that's a possibility. So that's awesome. So that is about it, unless I can think of anything else. So thanks again for stopping by. Those are the things I like about this Quansheng. I know there's some other firmware and a lot of neat things you can do, like operate it remotely with a desktop. So I'm really tempted to get another one of these just because it's cool to have. This does have one of those vocal scrambler features. So if you did have another one and you gave it to somebody else, you could use the vocal scrambler feature, which is kind of unique. And if I find out anything else I like about this, I will share it, but that's just the basic things. The fact that you can listen to so much stuff and it's really amazing. You have upper sideband, AM, FM. Really cool. I love it. And the firmware, I love that the fact that there's some people out there a lot smarter than me that make all this cool stuff happen. To date, this is by far the most fun I've ever had with an HT. Definitely way more entertaining than any other HT I've ever had. I could just spend an hour or two just scanning through and watching that spectrum scope. But anyway, thanks again for checking out the Mystery Ham. Until next time, 73.